We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields. We shall never surrender.
Welcome back for the next episode of Iron Curtain Grades Our Shit. Today we're out here with Nev's Pillbox, which is terrifying looking, but I have questions. So what's the score here, Nev? What's the plan?
So this particular POI is very, very difficult to find, but there is a POI that has a fence with barbed wire on it.
And you cannot make this plate barbed wire anymore, so this is definitely some rare stuff.
We've done a couple of POIs where we've, kind of gone, I don't want to say over the top, but there's definitely an enormous amount of work that went into them.
Mm-hmm.
This uses less than 400 blocks of concrete. It uses, I think it's less than 400 forged steel for the Pillbox. And the most expensive things to build in this are the blade traps and the turrets.
Sure. And you have an ass ton of turrets up here, no lies. So this is going to lay down some fire. Holy shit. And this isn't just bird defense here, right? This is going to be aimed at the horde itself. So this is just overwhelming fire. So what we've got here is the little pillbox. There is, as we like to do, an outside escape hatch / entranceway. We'll take you down through that. This doesn't have to go down to bedrock or anything crazy like that, but deep is good because it discourages them from trying to see it as a path. Duels over here, yep, we know how deep Blundy goes. Scoot on over to the box itself, like any good Friday night. And here we are. First stage is the various generators powering this whole shenanigan. Come up here, jump up.
Oh, the carbon room.
Yeah, right. You would definitely suffocate in there. And you're in the box itself. The pillbox itself is pretty straightforward. It's some iron bars wrapped around some steel, and away we go. Head up top, and you get that whole mess of shenanigans with the turrets up here. So this is, a pretty straightforward design. There's no tricks to this. It's going to be us standing in a cement and steel box, dropping a shitload of rounds out over the course of the evening. Now, the ammo count for this with the turrets is obviously probably going to be pretty massive, unless these things start getting shattered out early on, which hopefully won't be the case. The barbed wire out here, I'm curious to see how these fences hold up with that wire against a full horde. I'm not sure how long these are going to last, but it's definitely going to hand out a good chunk of free damage, provided they don't just kick open one, doorway worth and then spend the entire night coming through that. The blade traps and the pillbox itself, obviously the big concern there is demos. So we will be better served if we let the traps kill the demos, if at all possible. But this box itself is only going to be able to take but so many of those hits. So we're going to be in trouble quick if they start crashing up against the walls and then detonating. So we're going to have to be real careful with that. But in general, I think this is sound, especially as sort of an early and mid-game concept. It's not too bad. Supplies needed, you said, your costs were pretty rock bottom. Most of your concrete probably went into that tube down below. So this is, I think, pretty obviously like an A- or an A for supplies. What do you guys think?
I could say an A- just for the amount of blade traps here.
That's fair.
My initial thinking behind it was, could I trade off the size of the base and the construction costs and make up for it with the defenses?
Yeah. We'll find out whether or not that experiment pays off. Build difficulty, how long did this take you to put together?
About an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'd say that the most time consuming that was probably digging this trench to escape here. So that's another solid A, I think, on build difficulty. There's no craziness here. There's nothing complicated. It's just a matter of slamming stuff together. So yeah, I think you're in good shape with an A there. Yeah, this will be an interesting experiment, not going to lie. I think this is either going to work really admirably well, or we're going to hit some sort of demo clusterfuck, and it's just going to disintegrate before midnight. I don't think there's going to be a lot of gray area here.
Nope.
But if it works, it's got a really good chance of being actually really, really nice because it's so cheap to put together. So, Horde Night coming up. Everybody's here. Let's see how she does. It'd be nice if they came through the back first. We sealed off that hole in the fence with some more barbed wire, but yeah. the back door is always better as dual contestant.
Huh.
Looks like we got some traffic on the south. And Nev has tested out this fence and says that bullets pass through it, so we got that going for us. Those turrets are getting some work done already. I'm noticing spit is traveling through that fence too. I wonder if it's actually taking a hit there. If Nev's testing says that bullets didn't damage it, then spit may not either. I haven't done this much science on chain link fence before.
Right.
It's not very durable, but that barbed wire layer on it, it's going to be a little bit tougher and definitely slow it down.
It's interesting. It seems like the spitters are only, when they're shooting up here, they're only aiming at the Davian's turret.
Really.
Like I keep seeing it pass by my screen and not even touch me.
So far, the fence isn't even coming into play.
No, these turrets are really dropping some heat. They're doing a good job of targeting them too.
Our ammo count for the night's going to be ridiculous, though.
Yeah, the resource counting for these turrets is definitely going to be a little on the high side. But I'm actually,
A little?
I'm going to put a ×2 in this sniper rifle. See if I can't get any work done.
There you go. This is probably why they stopped making that barbed wire.
I'm starting to wonder
available.
because this has been devastatingly effective so far. We've been at this for about an hour and they have zero progress in anything.
I think a big part of that is all of these machine gun turrets too.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, that helps.
But it's doing... So are we just running the one load of ammo in those or do we have more?
Not just the one load.
Okay. Thankfully, if and when they change direction, the new ones will fire up. But yeah, if you wanted to invest more brass into it, you could always put more...
Yep, there goes the fence.
Did you find one? Oh, yep. See if they start tracking that way or just come smack their faces on it.
Oh,
Hey, this
wow,
guy
he
just climbed the
jumped
fence. He got on Grandma's shoulders and said, let's go.
Oh, they actually took out the upper level on that corner, that's why. The only downside to that then is you can't replace that barbed wire. But I think what we're seeing here is this would make a devastatingly effective early stage,
Oh, it's starting to break through in the middle here.
like early first week point to build your horde base because that barbed wire...
Cop
chain
just
link
popped
fence-
and took out 4 pieces.
Yeah, I mean, you could build a wood tower here and hide behind this barbed wire, and that would get a lot of work done for you. Fill this little pit, or this little fenced-in area with wood spikes, and I think you'd be pretty good to go first or second week.
Yeah, if he could find it though.
You know, that's kind of the rub on any POI, really. Some are more common than others, but I still haven't found that Victorian mansion. And I've had ideas for that thing.
Oh, boomer.
That's a demo. Demo just took out a corner of the fence.
Yeah, that's the general problem with those. Even without the explosion, they're so fucking strong. They just demolish shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just their
Was that a turret that hit it? Can you tell? Or can you imagine?
I had a Molotov in my hand. It probably was a turret.
Oh, that one's gonna pop. We had one pop
he
on the
died.
right. The turret set him off. I think those blade traps are gonna do some good work. I mean, don't be throwing Molotovs or grenades or anything onto the blade traps. And let those kill the demos as they track in, but past that, he doesn't have any like gaps or anything in these blades, so they are gonna fuck shit up.
It's the 360-degree shooting gallery.
Right.
So let's not ruin this one with Molotovs.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
It happened. There's video.
Still salty about that.
And here we see in action the don't build your base around one idea concept done correctly.
Yep. Because even once they inevitably get through these blade traps, because they don't have the most health in the world, they still have to punch through a solid steel wall to get to us.
Now, the good thing is I built the blade traps that are in front of the windows are within range to be repaired.
Oh, okay. I like that the sort of engagement point for this base is this far off. We've had a lot recently where the fight was pretty close to us, and there's something to be said for being able to take shots where, you know, I'm actually getting work out of a scope. I haven't attached a scope in quite a while.
I need a shower after this. All the zombie goo just spraying all over me.
Typical Friday night for X. Just getting sprayed with goo. Check out his OnlyFans.
Yeah, but this goo is like green and toxic.
So Sunday night.
Instead of white
Yes.
salty.
So I have noticed that even though I am standing right next to X, the zombies are still tracking right to X.
Mm-hmm. Waka chicka, waka chicka, waka chicka, waka chicka. Uh-oh.
Where is?
gonna
Oh, he's
pop in the
underneath
corner.
us.
Ooh,
That
that's a
one
bad one.
hurt.
I'm gonna blame Davian's turret.
How about just Davian?
Yeah.
That works too.
You don't
Davian's
blame
down
the
here
dog,
trying to
you blame the
repair.
master.
Blame Davian.
Yeah, my turret's literally facing in a different direction, so shut up.
Blame Davian. No, it's not. It's shooting at that corner. I just saw it shooting over there.
Blew up over here.
He blew
I see
up
the
right
hole.
underneath me. With his beady little eyes and his flapping tiny head. Blame Davian.
That's a problem.
That was not mine.
Shit. No.
Where did that one
I
blow
think
up?
your turret's empty
Wow.
now.
This is exactly the same place.
basically. Wait.
Well, they're getting in a pile up on us now, so it's getting a little bit more difficult. I have several demos in my face.
They are
Speaking
dead
of
now.
that Piper Perry video,
Hey-oh.
For no particular reason, can you spawn in demos that just stand still? Duel's thinking the same thing.
Just get a picture of Duel surrounded by 8 demos.
I was gonna take one for the team because they're the tastiest member.
think
Are
we're
we
done.
done at 240? I mean, we did kill a shit ton of them. Okay, so let's take a look around. Well, obviously the fence line is blown to shit, which we kind of.
This is a one-time use thing for the fence line.
Yeah, and that's a hit on it too, because this chain link fence barbed wire setup cannot be. It can be repaired, but it can't be replaced. So if it's gone, it's gone. But I don't know if that's too catastrophic. You know, we ran into some demo explosions out here past the fence line, which is a little problematic. Obviously, this one, the 2 that blew up right here on top of us, that's regrettable. But in terms of actual damage to the base, it did dick all. Like, this is
Yeah.
slightly scuffed. Nothing here is in danger of coming out. There was nothing in the main pillbox itself or in the pit below it that was ever going to need to be replaced or repaired. The box itself is, 2 minutes of repair work. The rest of this is a slightly more complicated deal. Durability. Now, as an end game base,
No.
I'm kind of underwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't do terrible, but it also ate a shit ton of ammo. But I still am really intrigued by the idea of using this POI for that first month. I think with that really early game stage horde and as squishy and as soft as those hordes tend to be, that chain link barbed wire would do a lot of work. It would be easy to replace with, like a plate fence with some of the barbed wire, stilt things stuck in front of it and kind of, half-ass replacements on that. And you could make this a workable Horde Night solution while you were working on bigger and better things. Durability here, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm calling this pretty average for endgame. Maybe maybe about a C, because, it's not in tough shape. The ground is beat to shit, but okay, you drop some topsoil and you're good to go. But I'm going to put an asterisk on that C because I think there's a shitload of potential here for early game bases. If you want a nice early game POI, I think this one is a hidden gem, quite literally. Z Control, again, I'm going to say kind of average. They did what we expected them to do. It wasn't trying to corral them in any particular fashion. It wasn't doing like a corridor or some kind of pit trap or something that was really intent on directing traffic. It's like Nev said at the beginning, it was a brute force solution. But again, I'll give it credit for what it would be at a much lower game stage than where we're at now. So I think this is another C for endgame as we tested here, but again with an asterisk because there's a lot of early game potential here. Are the players in danger? I'm going to give that a hard A. There was zero danger here. Even with the demo that popped at the base, we were never remotely threatened. I think this held up really well and did its job of protecting us. Now, a lot of that's probably to be attributed to the wall of turrets up top here, but it still was no threat. We were in great shape all night long.
Yeah, design feature that I really like about this is I could jump down here and do a couple of emergency repairs, and the roof is actually within parkouring jump height distance.
Oh,
That
is it?
is convenient. That helps, yeah. Resources. Now, we didn't use much in the way of dart trap ammo. However, the turrets here are an entirely different story. How much turret ammo did we use?
8,726.
Oh. And how much junk turret ammo did you use, Dave?
5,000 or so.
That is, because this is brass ammo that we're burning, I'm going to call that a D on resources.
Yeah.
8,009 mil rounds is a pant load. That's basically adding another like person and a half to our party. Ammunition. I burned 1,495 rounds for the evening. Davian?
1804.
Nev?
2,782.
X?
3706.
And Duel.
2402.
That brings us to a grand total of 12,189 rounds for the Horde Knight, which on our grading scale is right in C territory. That's actually a little lower than I expected, but I think we were getting some ancillary damage from the traps, and obviously the wall of turrets here did quite a bit when it burned through 8,000 rounds of its own. So the ammo count for us is a C, but that resource is graded plus another 8,000 rounds. That's, I mean, if you count
Almost 9,000.
If you count the turret ammo on top of ours, if you counted that as just our consumption for brass ammo, it's a fail. That's past the 20,000 mark, and that's a fail. So take this as you want. We used them in turrets, but if we had burned that ammo ourselves, we would have been solid F territory. So
We'd be punching shit.
Yeah, that's definitely worth noting. Cheese, I don't see anything cheesy here. This is pretty straightforward. It's like you said, it's a brute force solution. So there's no complaints on that regard.
It's a pillbox with machine guns on top. I'm not sure what you want.
Baked potato?
Baked
potato.
Chance to patch, that's a flat 0 there too. There's nothing here to patch out. Nothing's going to change. There's some turrets and some blade traps, and it's a concrete box. What do you fucking do? That's a 0. Scorecard recap. Supplies needed was an A-. Build difficulty was an A. It's cheap and it's easy. Just like Duel. Durability was a C with an asterisk because it's going to be a little better early game than I think it performed here. Same with Control, a C with an asterisk. Danger was a hard A. Resources used, that was a D. This motherfucker ate a lot of brass ammo with those turrets. Ammunition, another C. Cheese was a baked potato. Chance to patch is a 0. Final grade. End game, I think this is a C. It's pretty average. However, the concept behind this and using this as an early game POI and building this idea with wood and like wood spike traps here instead of the blade traps and everything like that, I think that's an A. I really think this would have a lot of legs behind it for a Horde Knight solution in that first month of gameplay. All right, coming up, we've got Nev has decided to explore and broaden his horizons on social media a little bit, and he has made a grinder. So if you're curious about Nev's grinder, definitely give that a look next week. He's usually available after 10:30 p.m. Eastern, but so try to keep it a little on the DL. But Nev does have a grinder if you're curious. And Fresh Meat, the Horde Knight, is right around the corner, and he is so screwed. There is, I mean, what has he done to that home base? He's put like 3 wood boxes in front of the hole in the wall and called it a day.
Yeah, he put a picket fence up.
Well, he upgraded that to those boxes. That's what I'm talking about. Like he's got dick. Like the rest of that house, it's stock. I mean, he's just basically wandering into any one of these houses and doing a Horde Knight in there, and he has fuck all for even like arrows. So I don't know what his plan on Horde Knight is, and I can't imagine a scenario at this point where he's not just going to get steamrolled.
You think we're going to be able to get him in while we make fun of him on Horde Knight?
We are going to try. Asherman and I were talking about that this week. We're going to try to get him in here for that first Horde Knight video, so hopefully we can line up the scheduling there. Fingers crossed. But day 7 right around the corner, so stick around for that. As always, we appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you next time.